Even during the wedding, Katrina asked me, so how was it like to style Vicky? When he was doing Sardar Udham, he was like, his brief to me was that I want to be in sync with the character because it's such a deep. Such a serious film. And he called me and he was like, Amandeep, listen, I'm getting a national award and you have to style me. He's like, a classic black tux is the most iconic thing. Taapsee is this like really headstrong, very cool, modern, girl. She's so clear in her vision. She can be someone who becomes this like demure kind of housewife in Thappad, but at the same time this like badass cool girl in Rashmi Rocket. And at the same time, you can like really style her up and make her look like this like supermodel of sorts, like sexy.
Hello everyone, my name is Aina Mehta and today I have someone with me who has created some amazing styles in the world of Bollywood. Joining me in a conversation is none other than Amandeep Kaur. Hi.
Hi.
Thank you so much for doing this and welcome to Pinkvilla.
Thank you for having me. I'm so glad I could be here today.
So I really want to know that how did fashion happen to you? I'm sure you always might have had a keen interest towards it, but how did you tap into it, make a career and probably get into celebrity styling?
I knew I had to get into something related to fashion and something to do with celebrities. I had this hint. I didn't know exactly what it was. And I'd heard of this course at NIFT called Fashion Communication, which had a lot of these exciting fields like fashion styling, fashion journalism, marketing, photography, hair and makeup, etc. And I realized that that's it, like this is what I want to do. Fashion styling is something that is my core passion and that is what I wanted to get ahead in life in. And after doing that for a few years, I realized that, I wanted to be independent. I wanted to be my own boss. I had worked with Yash Raj a couple of times with their talents. And so I approached them and I was like, I would love to, style one of your talents. And Angira Dhar at that time was just kind of stepping into the industry and she had done Love Per Square Foot with Vicky Kaushal. And I styled her for the promotions and Vicky was also looking for a stylist at that time. I styled him for one look and yeah, that's where our journey began.
And on that note, let's come to the main part, is we're going to look at some of the best creations that you have had till date.
This was actually the first time ever that Vicky had worn an embellished tuxedo, okay? So. I always fight with him for red carpet situations where I'm always like, let's experiment, let's explore, let's, explore a different color, let's explore a different style. And he's like, a classic black tux is the most iconic thing. Like, look at Brad Pitt, look at George Clooney, look at these people, they don't experiment with style. It's okay, I don't need to. So, from within the black tuxedos that he needs to wear for red carpets, I found this Manish Malhotra style really unique and really interesting. It was all embellished kind of a blazer. I still remember this. It's really close to my heart, this particular day and look.
How did he agree to experiment on those notes?
Well, this Vicky Kaushal is very different from that Vicky Kaushal. So Vicky has a kind of mood for every film, but with Bhoot, he was totally cool with experimentation and I was like, okay, let's bring on the streetwear game on you and let's get oversized jacket, let's get like big cargo pants and t-shirts that are really like long and very hip hop style. And I just like pushed him and gave him these like tinted sunglasses, which is not really his usual vibe. This is the first time, I hope, out of the many times that he was winning a national award. And I was in Bombay, he was in Russia, he was shooting for Sardar Udham at that time. And he called me and he was like, Amandeep, listen, I'm getting a national award and you have to style me and you have to think of something really nice and elegant and like, me.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. So I thought that, doing a sherwani / achkan would be a great look on him, because this was Uri. It had this whole nationalistic sort of feeling behind it, and who better in India than Sabyasachi. So I got like a Sabyasachi quilted achkan, and I flew with it, and we tried it on the first time while he had to be present at the event at 9 o'clock. So we had literally had like maybe 2 hours between his first fitting session to the event. I am so glad. I am so thankful to God, to him, to have agreed to like explore the style here. So when he was doing Sardar Udham, he was like, his brief to me was that I want to be in sync with the character, because it's such a deep like such a serious film. So I really wanted to experiment with Indian elements, but at the same time it couldn't look Diwali or Shadi at all. So I got these like cotton linen kurtas, and explored like different kind of pant patterns, which if you see, this is almost like a salwar inspired pants.
I love this.
Yeah, so here it was like a bandhani treatment blazer, and there's a scarf tucked inside. Then there's a slight like golden border on this even here. So I kept the scarves really minimal and thin, so it's not adding bulk to him, but at the same time it's adding that extra layer, extra element of India that I really wanted to bring in.
I chose this picture because I feel like it was the coolest, along with his main wedding look.
Wedding looks, yeah, it was, this journey for me was very cathartic. It was really a beautiful journey, because he's really close to my heart, and his family is really close to my heart. I was styling everyone, not just Vicky, for the wedding. And this was going to be a really special occasion, which is going to be memorable for the longest time, So, and I have to give him a lot of credit that he was not one of those crazy grooms who are panic struck all the time. Even during the wedding, Katrina asked me, so how was it like to style Vicky? Like, did he have those moments, like how bride and groom need to know about each other, that what was it like, were they getting like jitters, were they getting nervous? And I was like, he was the chillest groom of all times. Literally, like, his aim was, I want to party, I want to have a good time, and so was my aim. So I was like, once I dress him up, and I told him also, I was like, once I dress you up, I'm going to have a great time. I couldn't have asked for a better, a more positive, calmer groom in life to style. I remember with Vicky, like we were on his wedding day, I was there, his brother was there, his best friend was there, and then the safa tying people were there. So we were tying his safa, and I was so emotional. I had tears in my eyes, because I was just like, you're getting married. He was truly touched wood. I really hope he remains this happy. He was truly happy. He was just like so excited. I was just surprised at how beautifully, gracefully he went through the entire event. So Sunny is like the cool fashionista of the house. Like he's really on point on his style game. So he's very like fashion aware and evolved extremely opposite to Vicky. So it's a very interesting combination to style both of them, where one is like, what is aqua, what is
cobalt
teal, what do you mean by teal, and things like these you have to like tell him, whereas this guy Sunny would use terms like, oh, I want a salmon pink, I don't want a regular pink. So you were like a salmon pink Sabyasachi quilted sherwani. So styling him is a lot of fun, because he brings that challenge up, and like he really wants to explore and experiment.
How is it like to style Taapsee?
Taapsee is this like really headstrong, very cool, modern, girl. She's so clear in her vision. She just knows what is right, and she's very righteous, and at the same time she's such a hardworking woman. Like I have never seen someone more hardworking than her. And when it comes to styling, it's amazing how much trust and faith she has in me, which is something I'm so grateful for. Like I would give her anything and she would wear it. She is not one of those people who would be like, oh, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, oh, but let's do this and let's do that. She has this immense trust in the people she hires or she works with, that they know their job. This was actually like just after the first lockdown when things had eased down a little bit. She had gone for a film shoot in Jaipur, and she said, "Do you want to do a fun like creative shoot?" And I was like, "Yes, totally." Even this one, the bathtub picture that you had,
it's a part of
the same series, you know. So we just like went where she was shooting, and I carried like a bunch of clothes and accessories. I feel like Taapsee's got such a very like versatile kind of a body and face, where she can be someone who becomes this like demure kind of housewife in Thappad, but at the same time this like badass cool girl in Rashmi Rocket, and at the same time, you know, you can like really style her up and make her look like this like supermodel of sorts, like sexy, you know, fierce and very bold, etc. So I feel like she's got a great body, not an ounce of fat on her body, which is sadly but like truly is a gift for her stylist, because you know, when you're trying to get into dresses which are model sizes that designers make, you know, she very like easily slips into those dresses.
Before we let you go, we have a small segment which is called No More Breaks Allowed. So, who do you think looks good in a really good suit?
Vicky. Sorry if I can say that.
Who can pull off a bad outfit with confidence, like, and still look good in it?
Ranveer Singh. He's just someone who can pull off anything.
Whose looks do you recently love? Like at the moment, who's your favorite?
I feel like everyone's really upping their game. So you know, it's really interesting that everyone's sort of exploring and experimenting, and it's hard to choose, but Deepika, I feel like, you know, sort of wins hands down. Shalina does an amazing job with her. I think only Deepika kind of like takes the fashion game so high that it's almost international, you know, like it is international.
Who a person you haven't styled yet but you want to style would be?
Siddhant Chaturvedi. I'm like really craving to style someone who's you know, who's willing to experiment with colors, with like trends, and like who's new age and, you know, fun.
So I'm going to give you a few names of your clients and you've got to tell me what they wouldn't wear.
Okay.
So Vicky.
He wouldn't wear a fuchsia pink suit with flowers on them.
I'm imagining him in that. Taapsee?
Taapsee would not wear a latex legging and bralette and you know, high heels and all of that. Like I feel like she's more interesting, quirky, practical kind of power dressing girl.
Yami.
Yami, I feel, would not wear a very long gown.
Sunny?
Sunny, I think, would wear anything.
Athya Shetty.
Athya Shetty, I feel, will not wear a baby doll dress.
Yeah. Describe your personal style in 3 words.
My personal style is relaxed, androgynous, and quirky.
What do you have to say when someone doesn't agree with your sense of style?
I say that, you know, we are entitled to our own opinions, and each person has a different sense of style, so it's all right. I mean, especially when it comes to styling the particular person, they know better about themselves than anyone else.
One thing Vicky would always love to wear, what would
that be? A white shirt and, you know, linen pants, like linen shirt and linen pants. He's always down to wear that.
What about Taapsee?
Taapsee is always down to wear, I think, a white power suit, like a blazer and pants set.
Who is your fashion inspiration?
I feel Kendall Jenner looks really amazing, and she does some really cool, you know, high-end fashion stuff. And I also feel like she comes across as a nice person as well, you know, of whatever interviews and behind the story sort of things that I've seen. And I feel like she's brought the whole supermodel era sort of back with, you know, after the Naomi Campbells and the biggies. I feel like there was a lull in between where supermodels were not a thing, and she sort of brought them back.
Thank you so much. It was lovely talking to you.
Thank you.
And we hope to see you soon.
Thank you for watching this. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to Pinkvilla.